this focus out, because every time, oh, hello, I'm just sorting the focus out. Yep, we're here. They're all in. They're all queued up. Our moderators have let them in. Open the doors, check the tickets, click the tickets. Got a little circle in the ticket down when they're all here.
And down you can come in.
Yes. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. First things first. This live stream nearly didn't happen tonight. Was on the computer the other night and everything shut down, and I didn't press any buttons. So there was a bit of panic because we thought that Mr. Fox might have to do his own live stream on his own.
Oh my God, how boring would that be? Just me sat talking to you. You'd be like,
so he spent a sleepless night, sweating, pacing the room, smoking, and everything else. And it worked. I got it back working thanks to one of our moderators tonight. Thank you, TK, for getting me up and running again. But anyway, at the end of that, welcome. Good evening. It's Monday night. It's Ted and Fox at the eModels bench. We've got some great things to do tonight. We're going to have a look at what's in store. We'll have a mug giveaway. I think I've got a T-shirt to give away tonight. I'll just check the size of it, make sure I haven't shrunk it in the wash or anything like that. And anything else that you guys want to talk to us about, give us the questions as usual. One thing you should remember, if anybody is out there watching on the eModels link and they want to join in the chat, don't forget that down here somewhere is not an eModels, a YouTube logo, that if you click on that, it will take you over to the YouTube website where you can join in and chat on the chat. With that,
if you're watching on emodels.co.uk/live,
yep,
you can't get the chat, so just click on that little YouTube icon at the bottom of the player. You're in, you can chat.
But if you don't want to, if you just want to watch us on emodels.co.uk live, and you also want to browse the website, you could do that as well. Go along and have a look and see what's in store. We will have a look at what's in store tonight. And we're going to make it a little bit of a Tamiya night tonight. Talk about some of the old kits, some of the fantastic kits that they have. We'll have a look at that later. So
if you are in the chat, just remember, keep it clean, be nice. You've got 2 mods in there tonight, so perimeter is secured. No one's getting in, no one's getting out. So do be nice. The mods will look after you. If you see anything rumpus in the chat, just flag it to one of them or they'll deal with it. But we don't normally have to remind you of that because 99%.
Yeah, you're usually a good lot, but there's always the odd stray that sort of gets in under the fence and spoils it for everybody. We'll soon get rid of it.
Be nice to your mods and they'll send you cake.
Yeah. And we have some exciting news tonight for you eModel video viewers. We have some exciting news, but
exciting developments.
Exciting developments. Yes, we won't tell you any more about it. Yeah, we won't tell you any more about it yet. We'll tell you about it a little bit later on in the show. But if we forget, remind us. We might say you're going to tell us about eModels. Yeah.
Smooth, just before we go anywhere, Smooth says, "Is this the Fox Large Face Fungus Edition? Manly beard action." I no longer have any control over this. It's a sentient organism. I just have to respect the face furniture. So
yeah,
it's also laziness. I don't know if I want to trim it back or just leave it to go all nautical and become like a sea captain and go arr.
Do you sit stroking it? It's the moments of thinking when you stroke and
and then you sit there and you're like, then you kind of go, oh, bit of steak from last night, brilliant. It's when I find bird's nest, I realise I have to trim it. I just wish it sounds really weird, but I'm old now and I wish I could just go grey because grey beards look awesome. Slightly reddish, strawberry blonde, they're just boring, but the grey beard, grey hair, great. I could be like, it'd be very anime. It'd be brilliant.
Yeah, you'd have to get one of them Brereton hats, that makes you look like a skipper.
Yeah, and then I can hang around on like shipyard docks and be all authoritative.
Yeah, everybody thinks you're a seafaring captain, but you're not really. You're just a guy with a grey beard.
Put me on a boat, I'm hurling straight away. So,
I've got a question there from Paul Stewart. Probably one for you. I don't know what it's aimed at. Where's Jar Jar?
I'll show them later when you ask me what I've been up to. Well, I'll get to that. I'll tell you in a bit. Remind me in a bit then to show what some people sent me.
People are saying their beard is grey and they have grey highlights. My hair is grey. Well, it's not grey, but my hairdresser refers to it as salt and pepper.
I was going to say salt and pepper.
Yeah, salt.
I mean, it's not fully grey yet.
Yeah.
Smooth does say he hates his grey beard. Smooth, grey beards are awesome.
He says you hanging around docks. Yeah, well.
Yeah, I kind of, when I said that, I'm like,
You should have said that.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yeah. What have you been up to this week, Mr. Fox?
Hello, Tedward. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
How are you? Yeah, nice to meet you. Nice to see you.
Don't come here often, do you? Yeah, it's been busy. I've been still working on the Master Chief. Still working on that. As you can see, I've done him now. I've finished the visor. Came out quite nicely. So I'm hoping to get him done this week so that I can get back on with the Big Eagle. So he's taken up a lot of time. I have been playing Destiny in my few spare hours. Yes, love it. Destiny for the win. Yes. But Jar Jar. I received a package today. I received a package from my very good friends, Chris from Gross Models and Paul from Glued to the Sprue. They sent me a box of lovely stuff. They sent me some. Well, I'll show you what they sent me. They sent me some Korean death noodles because we're going to do a live stream of eating Korean death noodles. Like me, Chris, Paul, and Dave Wise the Rumbarker. Hi, Dave. I'm hoping it's that one. Probably that one. That's massive. But they added some other stuff in the package. They sent me this, which we featured last week. It's the latest Damage, issue 2 of Damaged, which is brilliant. It's all weathering. It's like the ammo magazines. It's full of weathering and everything. And it's got a nice big advert on the back that I didn't realise. Hello, how handy. For all your model making needs. They also sent me the most fabulous gunpla in the world, bright pink Zaku. I mean, the Zaku Warrior live concert edition. It's got girly hearts and all kinds of stuff all over it. I'll show you how pink it is. I mean, I know I'm a princess, but look at that. Oh, it's delightful. Chris sent me a teeny tiny 144. I'll put this over there. 144th scale Sherman tank, which I won't get out, but it's like this big, so I can join hashtag Team 144. Oh. And then they sent me this as well. Oh, the rage. For those who don't know, I'm an ardent believer that there are only 5 Star Wars movies, 4, 5, and 6. I think this is the Final Frontier then. 4, 5, and 6. The Rogue One and the one that came out the other year that I've forgotten the name of, The Force Awakens. There are no other Star Wars movies. Oh, they sent me this. So it's both awesome and also... so I'm going to have to paint that up. It's an action figure, but I'll paint it up at some point. So Chris and Paul, thank you very much. I completely hate you. Thank you very much for everything else. We're going to have words. So that's what happened today, Tedward.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Sorry,
I could cue there because I know you were doing something in the background there. So.
Yeah, I just.
Are you communing with?
I'm just communicating with someone.
Yes.
Someone, yeah. So yeah, well, what have I been doing? I unfortunately not. I quite focus on quite a lot, really. Don't I? Is it me?
That's what you've been doing.
Yeah. Is it just me, or am I out of focus?
Are we gonna have to start GoFundMe to get you a decent camera?
Yeah, GoFundMe. Anybody got a decent camera out there that stays in focus?
Yeah,
must be 1080p.
If for any reason you ordered one and got 2, then you've got spare.
Yeah, I did get 2. Yeah. Yeah. I did get 2, and they do work pretty well. Just that they keep going out of focus, so I have to keep pointing at it, and it comes back into focus.
Just so viewers who maybe not want to see these before, no, you're not actually sitting there texting your missus.
No, no, I'm in communication with him on high.
Yes, head office.
Head office.
Ground control.
Yeah. The thing is about a live stream. It happens as you see it. Lots and all, from closing the stream down to crashing the cameras.
We've done it all. We've broken PCs. We've killed the stream.
And you have to stay watching to the end because you never know what's going to happen.
Yes, make sure you stay till we stop the stream because sometimes things happen right at the end that we don't know about until he who must be obeyed sends Ted a text saying, "Do this," and we're like, "Okay, brilliant." So. Yep. We're staying to the very, very end.
Yeah, we have to stay to the end.
Just do it.
We stay to the end. So, yeah, why don't you?
Yeah. Well, we kind of have to.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do, really, don't we? Right. Where was it? I forgot where I was. Yeah, I have been building. I've been building the submarine. I was going to come in last night and do you a live update, but as we said right at the start, the camera crashed. As we said last week, it's a case where you come into the workshop and you think, right, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this, and then something goes wrong. But last night I had no internet, so that's why it didn't happen. But it was going to happen. I had it all set up. Right.
I'm just reading through the commentings. Shall I get quickly?
You have a look at the comment. I'm just catching up with a little bit of a chat that I've going on the side.
Let's see who we've got in. I'll probably miss most of you because there's a lot of comments already. As we always say, Ted and I are focused on the actual being glamorous on camera thing, so we tend to miss a lot of what happens in chat. So we like you to ask us questions. That's how the chat works. Ask us questions. They can be about model making. They can be about anything you want. It doesn't have to be about model making. Ask us about cheese or whatever you want to ask us. But if you do want to ask a question, put the whole question in capitals. Do the whole thing in capitals because it'll stand out a little bit so we can see it. So just put your questions in capitals. Who have we got in? We have Nate Bliss, AD Math, Chris from Gross Models, Bob Bobbington's in. Hello to all of you. Vincent from Mr. Lewis Model Making. Rustin Customs Models is in. Hey, guy. Dave Wise, the Rum Gun Barker's in there, causing problems, no doubt. Let's have a look. Who else have we got? Your TK and Ant are your mods tonight. Your delightful mods. They do anything for food, so they're easily bought. Don't worry about it. Scott Sutherland is in. Ted, where is Scott from?
Orkney.
Good girl. Let's have who else have we got in. There's some guy called Model Making Guru. Don't know who that is. Alex Kutal is in. Hey, hey, hey. Andy B67's in again. Lovely to see you. We have Shadowland Scale Models. Smoo. Hey, well, we know Smoo's in. Smoo's like a fixture around here. He's like brilliant. I won't do that again, Smoo. I do apologise. It's my dad's influence. He was from Glasgow, and sometimes it just kicks in, and I'm not very good at it. Who else have we got in? Chris Henderson's in. Wayne Hayward. Nigel Bruce. Paul Stewart. Yes, we know. Thank you, Paul. Paul Stewart and Gross Models. They're the ones that sent me that abomination from the Star Wars film that doesn't exist. Somebody described my beard as a cornflake catcher. More of a Frosties man myself.
Yeah, it must be hellish when it's Cocoa Pops because you never find them.
Cocoa Pops for years.
You'll never find them in that beard.
Yeah. Phil East is in. Let's see. I think that's everybody. If I've missed everybody, do apologise. There's a lot of comments on there. We've had a couple of questions already. Yep. Dave Wise, the Rum Gun Barker, says, "Get your Jar Jar out for the boys." Dave, you're a bad influence. You're a bad man, Dave. But we love you anyway.
Yes. Get your Jar Jar. Yeah. What are you going to do with Jar Jar? Are you going to leave it in the box? And
I have this. This may come in handy. No, I'm probably gonna. It'll be well for the future, but I'm probably gonna like repaint it. Maybe I did think with a bit because he's got a shield on his arm. So with a bit of work, a lot of work, I could try and make him look like a jackal from Halo. But then I thought about it. Thought, nah, it's not gonna work. It probably would do. It's kind of very similar shape. Beyond Hope says, if you can mash the kits up, take Jar Jar's head off and replace it with the battle droid. Worked well with C390. I'd just replace all of it with the battle droid. I wonder if them Master Chief people make a Jar Jar that size, says Dave Barker. No, I just don't even think about it. We have a question.
Yep.
Let's have a look. Oh, Smooth says, Fox could shave his beard off and PVA it to Jar Jar, making a Jar Jar Wookiee. Yeah, I like that. Be kind of crispy. Bob Bobbington is our first question tonight. Yep. Hey, Bob. He says, I'm looking to... This is a question for you, Ted, because I'm onto it. Yeah, I'm looking to do some lighting in a kit. What do I use and where do I get it?
Right. It depends what you want to do, and it depends what you want to light, and it depends how much space you've got.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming. Come again next week.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That's all. Yeah. No question. Yeah, seriously, depends what you want to do, how you want to light it, whether you want sort of spotlight or you want to flood the whole thing. That's down to the choice of different types of lamps. How much space you got also sort of dictates what size lamps you want to, and what was the other one? How you want to do it. Yeah. what I use, if it's a really small space, you can use fiber optics, SMDs, small SMDs. What is it? SMDs? Yeah, they're really tiny yellow filaments. Or you can use tungsten bulbs. Really, you can go up to the sort of stuff you use in your house, depending on the space and availability you've got, and also how you want to light it. Whether you want to use batteries or you want to plug something into a wall or use it off a transformer, things like that. I use a fantastic lady called Jennifer at Small Scale Lights. I'll try and post a link, or if you send me an email to ted@emodels.co.uk, I'll let you know the web address for Jennifer. She's fantastic. She'll bespoke build you kits for your particular kit. Some of the stuff she already has as a kit. If you haven't lit a kit before and you want to, it really enhances it, especially if it's on display on a shelf. If you have a car and you could put the headlights on or something like that, or light the underneath. One of the modelers that I know, David, he's lit the whole of the underneath of his car with sort of like a neon glow underneath. It looks fantastic.
Pimpmobile, pimp it, baby.
Yeah, pimp it.
Vincent from Miss Les Model Making says nano LEDs, and Jennifer does nano LEDs.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and nano LEDs. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, really tiny, size of a pin, some of them, and you can get them in anywhere. You've got to work out the route to get the cables, the wires in, but the really fine wires, and you can get them anywhere. But yeah, send me an email to ted@emodels.co.uk.
I shall put that in the chat.
Thank you very much, because you can type faster than me.
Well, when I try and talk and type, it all goes terribly wrong.
Yeah, so don't mind the spelling, but that's where it goes. I'll send you an email address to her, and if you tell her I sent you.
Yeah. Good thing about her as well is, because I've found as well, if you tell her what model you're making, she'll probably know it.
Yeah, she's actually a modeler.
Yeah, so she'll probably know the kit, and she'll know exactly, or she'll be able to look at it and go, right, okay, this is what you're going to need. So if they haven't got something pre-built, just contact them and they'll be like, yeah, we can. Yeah.
I know that she's quite a busy lady, and I know that she has on a shelf the Starship Enterprise from the original series. And she's she's
lying there, is it?
But yeah, she knows all about our needs, and she does mainly for dolls' houses, but she will do you for anything. Yeah, that's it. Right, next question.
Chris Model says, it's always amazing that the email address in the chat appears before I've even started typing, because I am Vex. I am Atheon. I can control the time.
Mm-hmm.
Also lag. Also, there's as you tend to do in chat, a lot of people in chat have given you answers as well. So check out the rest of the chat.
Yeah.
As always, if somebody asks a question and you're in chat and you know the answer, feel free to answer it. We'll probably say the same thing, but feel free to answer it, help each other out. I know you do anyway. But make sure to give us lots of questions. Otherwise, this will be a really short and boring podcast.
Yeah. It's you guys that we want to get involved in the show. That's why we come here. It's as I've always said, it's like, oops, I'm making a noise here with lots of paper.
Oh, it's like opening the model kit.
Yeah, it's like just like a group of guys getting together in the pub, but it's cheaper than the pub because you don't have to buy everybody a pint. That's why I'm here and not in the pub, because I don't buy people pints.
Yes.
Yeah, it's too expensive to go out. It's much cheaper to stay here.
Yes. Just to clear up something, Dave Wise the Rumbarker says, hi, Pete Mate is in the house. That was Ted that replied as eModels UK, because he has to log in as eModels to do these streams. If Pete or Gav are in the chat, you won't know.
Yeah, they're sneaky like that. That's why we have to.
Yeah, I have to brush my beard with a little comb and everything.
Yeah, I didn't know he was in. Otherwise, I'd have put my tie on.
Yeah, exactly. So even we don't know when the guys from eModels are in the chat, because they have super secret identities. You know, it's like Batman or something. If you see somebody called Batman, it's probably Pete or maybe Gav.
Yeah, awesome man.
Yes.
So
you're just kowtowing, Ted.
Yeah, and then
looking up to the boss.
Yeah.
Rule of acquisition 235. Look up to the boss.
Oh dear. Yeah, you can't upset him, otherwise you might get Dora sent to your door. Yeah.
Just on that note, I was having a conversation with Pete Mate earlier on today, and then a bit later on, out of nowhere, I got a thing saying your parcel from eModels will be with you on Tuesday. I'm like, wait, what are you sending me? I'm really hoping it's not a massive, because I don't know what Ted and Tony have been talking about to him behind my back. There was something said in the chat. Scott Sutherland from Orkney.
Orkney?
Odo says hello, Scott. Scott Sutherland says, "How's everyone's weather? I think we are getting the back end of that storm tonight." Yeah, I don't know if we have anybody watching from the US, but if we do, and you're in the area of Hurricane Irma, obviously stay safe. We're all thinking about the people that are affected by it. But it seems that we in the UK, in England here, have had equally terrible weather. I've had like throwing down storms, and I was nearly hit by lightning yesterday.
Oh,
I was driving along, and there was like a massive crack, and this bolt of lightning kind of hit a...
Do you mean a crack?
Yeah, like a... and it kind of pinged off the lamppost that I was driving past, and the whole thing, I was like, wow, dead loud. My whole car rattled more than it normally does. I've never been that close to lightning, and I may have pooped just a little bit. I had to go back home and change all my pants and everything.
Yeah, so we have had wind warnings, and that's just not from the Met Office. It's going to get up to 70 miles an hour over the next couple of days, so it's not as bad as Hurricane Irma. So if you are out there, or if you have got a chance, or if you've got family out there, yeah, our thoughts are with them, and hopefully everybody is safe. Right. Right. Well, the chat is moving along quite quickly.
Yeah, Paul Stewart says he has something exciting on his desk: a street waffle with a giant marshmallow, all covered in chocolate. Ted, I've got to go. I have to go and find out where the hell Paul lives and turn up unannounced.
Yeah, as we were saying, if you've got a question, ask the question, and often the guys will answer it in the chat before we've even seen it. So that's awesome. I did see one from Scruffy Pup. I'm about to start my first 1/16th model, a T-34 tank. Is there any tips you can give, if any, as I normally do 135 armor? You'll find building one, going from 135th to 1/16th is a fantastic jump, because you get some fantastic detail in the bigger models. Not so much that they're more complex or anything like that, they're more detailed. The weathering, everything like that is just the same as you would do it in 135th.
Yeah, the beauty of the weathering side is, if you're used to weathering 135th, it's exactly the same techniques that you've used before. It's just that when you're doing them on a bigger model, a smaller scale model that's bigger, so 1/16th, all the techniques look even more convincing. So where you're doing, say, chipping on the tank, 135th tank, with a bit of sponge, and you're putting your little bit of sponge on there and you're dabbing it on, you get these little paint chips. You can do exactly the same, but because you're now at 1/16th scale, they're more to scale. So what might look like something the size of a human hand on 135th now looks like an actual paint chip. It takes a lot longer, but you can go more to town with streaking and chipping, and
and other than adding textures, other than adding paint to it, you can actually add texture. Your rust, instead of being painted rust, can actually, using pigments and such like that, and fixing pigments on, the rust can actually have an actual texture of rust, or appear to have a texture of rust, rather than just a brown paint as such like that. But yeah, if you have a look at my, especially some of the later editions of the video for the 1/16th Panzer IV, you'll see how I apply the paint and the weathering to that, and how you get the textures to it. Yeah, you can actually have a feel for it. It goes on better, Fox. Yeah.
You can just have a lot more fun. You can spend a lot more time doing little things to it, little bits of painting and weathering. It's just great fun. So you will love it. There's a lot more parts. It's not necessarily a more complex build. It's like, if you know your gunpla, it's like doing an HG and then a perfect grade. It's not more complicated. It's just a lot more parts. So you'll be fine. You'll have a great time. Plus, it's massive.
Yeah.
Have you got shelf space?
Yeah, send the pictures to eModels as you progress. Any guys out there, if you have a build on the go, send a picture into the eModels Facebook page, put it on the readers or the viewers' photos. And we can see them as you're going along. We'd love to see them.
Smoo says he finds my pigeon Scottish accent quite amusing, and Scott from Orkney says at least he doesn't try to do an Orcadian accent. It's like, yeah, I love the Orcadian accent, but I can't do one. Oh, hello, I can't do it.
No,
it's that kind of soft crofter accent, but intensely more. I can't do it. I won't try and do that.
They speak in a softer voice rather than shouting like they do from Glasgow.
It's kind of like Edinburgh, but Edinburgh even more relaxed. I know. Rody Hobby Corner's just come in. Hey, Rody.
Yep.
TK responded to Paul's enormous street waffle with a marshmallow by saying he's got a pack of Tunnocks tea cakes that are over a year old, and he says he thinks they're still in date. I said, TK, Tunnocks tea cakes never go out of date. They're always.
Yeah. How many Tunnocks tea cakes can you get in your mouth?
All of them.
All of them. Try all 6. Yeah, the pack of 6, aren't there? Pack of 6.
Yes, I know because I'll eat 6 in a row.
And if you can get the coconut covered ones, even better.
Yeah, although I think what TK had was actually the Tunnocks caramel bars in the picture he put on the net the other day. Tea cakes are the little round ones. Tunnocks caramel bars are the Scotland's best export after ships. Tunnocks. And Iron Brew. Obviously.
Iron Brew. I was just going to say Iron Brew. Yeah, it came to mind straight away.
Haggis. I love haggis.
Haggis.
I love haggis.
Kilts? No, we won't go to kilts.
No. Bob Bobbington says, is a 3-year-old Jaffa cake deletable? I won't take responsibility by answering that. I personally would say yes, but then I can eat anything.
Yeah, try it. You'll never know till you try it.
You nearly said something else then. I don't know who tried to, but no, you can't post links in the chat. Only mods and us can post links in the chat. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Yeah. Ron Max said he's got man flu. Oh.
You mean you've got a very slight cold?
Yeah. Oh, no, if a man's got man flu, he's got man flu.
Yeah, I took the devil's advocate position there.
Yeah, we should know. I don't think there's any ladies in tonight, so they don't hear this.
Well, there might be. There might be, just not in chat.
Yeah, but if you get man flu, it's serious stuff.
Yeah, you're just flat out for days.
Yeah, you have to be waited on. And yeah.
Paul Stewart says, Fox, if you can eat anything, why can't you eat noodles? I can. I just like to drama queen it sometimes. I can eat them. They might hurt. The only things I won't eat, let's kind of break this down. There's only one thing I won't eat. Maybe 2 things I won't eat. What have the Romans ever done for us? Bread and butter pudding, which is, I can't even think about it without a little bit. It's bread and butter pudding. Oh, it's horrible. It's just, oh. And kiwi fruit. I don't know why. I just despise kiwi fruit. I can't. Even thinking about it just makes me go, ah. I'll eat anything. I've eaten. I didn't like bananas for most of my life, but then I started eating them. So I've eaten scorpion. I've eaten kangaroo. I've eaten crickets. I've eaten dog biscuits. That's usually because I was a little bit drunk. So that wasn't really a. I've done dog shapes. Shapes are the best ones. Get down the pub, get a load of pints in, then come home and find there's a bag of shapes in your mate's kitchen. I'll have them. I've done that. Not dog food, just dog biscuits. I'll eat anything. I'll try anything once, but only kiwi fruit and bread and butter pudding are the 2 things I will turn away. Yeah. Let's have a look. We have another question. Gazin Melvin, do you take fine line masking tape off when the paint is still wet or dry?
I take it off when it's wet. Because that way, not running wet, not dripping wet, but
sticky.
Let it go off a little bit, but take it off before it dries. Yeah.
When it's kind of dried, sometimes dry to the. It depends what paint you're using. If you're masking with oil paint, you'll be sat there for weeks. If it's with acrylics, you're probably going to wait in sort of 10 or 15 minutes anyway before they're dry to the touch. Most paints you want to leave for 24 hours to fully cure. But say you painted something with Tamiya and then masked it off and painted over it again, you could probably take the tape off in 5 or 10 minutes. Once it's touch dry, if you do it too soon, you pull it off and the paint just goes down the edges and you knacker it and you get wobbly edges. If you take it off too late, sometimes it can go crispy and give you a jagged edge.
Plus it can sort of attach itself to the tape and it'll pull off when you pull the tape off. But masking tape, I can't wait until if I mask a model up, I just can't wait to take masking tape off. It's like unwrapping a Christmas present.
See, masking is one of those things that people that have never done it think it's like airbrushing, which is a bit complex, but masking is one of those things that people who've never done it think is really hard, and you've got to get it exactly right, and there's lots of protocols and you've got to follow the guideline. It's not. Put the tape down, spray your model, give it 5 minutes, pull the tape off, done. It's not as hard as a lot of people think when they've never done it before. It's dead easy. I would say if you've used fine line tape, I normally use Tamiya masking tape. because it's just the best. I also have some rolls of 3M automotive fine line tape, detailing tape. I don't know if this is the one you're using, but that kind of stuff. I've got finer than this as well for doing pinstriping tape and stuff like that. This is quite aggressive. This stuff is quite aggressive on paint. It's very adhesive. It's got high tack, whereas Tamiya paint won't pull your paint off unless it's really bad paint. This stuff can potentially even pull off Tamiya paints. So if you can, just try and get a varnish coat over the paint before you use this stuff, because it's probably going to be all right. But just every now and then, if it's particularly sticky, it can pull paint off. So when you pull the tape off, don't just get the tape and go yank. Always pull tape back on itself. So if your tape's like that, pull the tape back on itself. Don't pull it up, pull it back, and that will minimize how much you're going to pull off. But especially with this, because this is quite aggressive stick-wise, so it can occasionally. You'd probably be fine, but just bear it in mind. If it pulls any off, you just touch it in. So
Bob Bobbington says you can de-tack it just by putting it on your trousers.
Yeah, I've tried that with this stuff. It kind of works with that sort of width. When you've got the really fine line tape, which is that stuff, it's like a placemat. It's actually harder because you get the tape and you try and de-tack it, and it's already crinkled and bent, and so. And it depends on the brand. 3M stuff is pretty good. It's not too bad, but this is designed to go on cars that have got a lacquer coat on them. So just be aware of it. Use it carefully.
Yeah,
but it's good.
I just can't wait to take the masking off when I bust the model.
It's exciting. You're like, oh! I mean, if you actually watch me work when I'm not doing stuff on camera, as Ted will tell you, Ted and Tony will tell you, the way we do things on camera is often not the way we'd actually do it in real life. Because when it comes to doing things in real life, we're like, yeah, it's just, we don't have to do it the correct way. So there's a lot of shortcuts we'll take as builders. And often I'll mask something off, get the hairdryer on it, and just pull the tape off. It's great. It's very rare to mess things up with masking tape. So just take your time, give it 5 or 10 minutes, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think there was a few more questions that came in. I need to move so fast.
Make sure to put your questions in capital letters, folks, so we can spot them.
Yeah. I'll have a look. I do know that I've had some come through on email.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Ted at eModels.
Oh, hang on. I've got one. Ron Mac 95. Question: are you excited about the new Revell Star Destroyer coming out? Would you recommend it? I haven't even seen it.
I can't say I've seen it. No,
I haven't seen it. I don't know. Is it one of the easy snap fit ones, or is it one of the master kits where it's? Because I know Fine Molds never actually got around to doing a Star Destroyer.
While you're just talking, I'm just going to nip over to the eModels webpage.
Okay. So I don't know. I will say
or something.
I will say that I was excited about the Revell Halo kits, the Pelican and the Warhog, till I actually saw them. Yeah, they're really basic. I mean, you could do a lot of work and make them look awesome, but I was excited till I saw them. But I don't know about this Star Destroyer kit. So if it's a proper kit and not like a sound and lights and job, it's probably really good. Somebody said, and Smoo says, homemade tatty soup or potato and leek. Oh yeah, cockaliki. Oh, cockaliki soup, my favorite. Net Voyager 2017 says rock hard tape slaps you well aggressive. Yeah. Bashing Kit says it's a re-release of the Zvezda. So in that case, yes, it will be very good. And Bashing Kits has actually made it. So in that case, yes, it will be an excellent kit. If it's a rebox of the Zvezda one, it's brilliant. It's like that long. So yes, it would be worth getting it. Ask Ant. Ant will tell you everything you need to know. Beyond Hope says, I don't eat anything green. If it's green, it can't be good for you. No one eats green, bread, meat, or grass. Mushy peas. Deny that argument. I love mushy peas. And chives. Chives. And chilies. Chilies are sometimes green, and peppers. So can't have curry then, can you? See? Yeah. Chris from Gross Model says he likes vegetarians because it's more meat for him. I like that. Let's have a look. Any more questions coming in on the chat?
I'm back. Yeah, I'll have a look on the internets. I have had a couple of questions that have come through on the email.
Yes, do your thing, Ted, with the emails.
We do like them to come through on an email because it gives us a chance to look them up, find the answer. Uh,
Usually when I'm doing the talking bit, like I just so we can look it up there quick.
I'm Googling. What's the answer to
Yes,
this?
right, little Googler, aren't you?
Yeah, one for you, really. It's from Daniel. It's from Daniel. Hi, Ted. I was wondering if you could please tell me if the Gundam black fine marker pen, fine line marker pen, could be used for doing panel lines on 1/24th car kits and then clear coated with Alclad aqua gloss.
I have some here. Hang on, I've got to move all the things now. I have some Gundam markers. Oh god, I can't get them out. I didn't plan this. For those who don't know, maybe you don't build Gunpla, you can get Gundam markers. They are basically, I think they're actually enamel, they're not acrylic, but or they're alcohol based. They're basically very fine marker pens, but they have paint, not ink. I think there's different types, but the basic panel lining pens are just like very fine art pens. They're actually designed for doing panel lines on Gundam kits. You can use them on any kit you want. You don't have to use them just on Gundams. The only thing I'd say about these is there's better ways of doing panel lining and easier and convenient ways. These are fine, but they don't really like being put onto a glossy surface because it's like the paint or the ink doesn't flow very well. They're more designed to go onto bare plastic. And the difficulty is if you're doing them on paint, it's really hard to clean up any bits where you miss or you splotch or you go off to the side because they're quite permanent. Normally when you build a Gundam, you're doing it on bare plastic and you get an alcohol on a swab and you just rub it off and it gives you a nice panel line. When you're working over paint or varnishes, it's not that great. What I would say is it's much easier to do a panel lining with something like enamel paint, either just really thin enamel paint, whatever color you want, or something specific like one of the Ammo or AK panel line paints. Ammo and AK do panel line washes, and they're just very thin enamel paints that you literally get it on a brush, touch it to the panel line, and it will flow along. Do a gloss varnish first. You have to do a gloss varnish so it flows nicely. Give it 10 or 15 minutes till it's a little bit dry. Then just go in with a dry cotton bud, and you can rub off the excess from around the side of the panel line, and you get a beautifully crisp panel line. It's a lot faster doing it with a pin wash like that. It's called a pin wash than using these. I mean, these are fine, but they're really, really best for someone who's just snapping a Gunpla together and isn't painting it. When you get to the point of working on a painting model, you kind of want to use the proper things and enamel panel washes, or you can use oil paints as well. They're exactly the same process. Just it's a lot faster and it's a lot more convenient, easier to clean up. But always do it over a gloss coat. So paint your model, get the gloss coat down, then go over with your pin wash, give it 10 or 15 minutes, and just rub off any splotches and excess. Trust me, you'll love it. It's dead easy.
No,
I'll put these away now.
No, hope that answered your question.
For about 3 years.
Yeah, hope that answered your question. And please feel free to. You don't have to. You're not anybody that does send us questions via email are not restricted to one question. You can send as many as you want. As I say, this is a keeping in focus. This is a program to get you guys involved. You guys can ask questions. You guys can chat amongst yourselves and with us. And it doesn't have to be model related either. It's just a matter of getting us all together, having a chat, like-minded people, have a bit of fun.
And it doesn't have to be like that question was about Gunpla, which obviously we don't carry Gunpla. It's very hard for anybody outside Japan to actually sell Gunpla unless they really get on with Bandai really well. But I know I can help in that. And a lot of the techniques you say on Gunpla are exactly the same as other kinds of models. So even if your particular question is about something that maybe eModels don't stock or some kind of modeling that you think might not be relevant, just ask it anyway. Because if me and Ted don't know, then we'll know somebody who does, or we can just make it up.
Yeah, usually these guys in the chat answer the questions better than we can. We should just sit. We should just on a Monday night just start the stream going, and these guys could chat amongst themselves in chat. We could just sit.
Vincent at Mr. Lowe's Model Making says, Fox, it's aqueous hobby color in a marker. Both are the Gunsei Sangyo products. The panel markers though are basically Sharpies. You get the big fat pens for Gundam markers. I wouldn't bother with those. That were awful. So it's aqueous hobby color. I knew it was something like that, but I couldn't remember for sure. They're all right, but if you're at the point of painting a model, you don't need to be using Gundam. I still use them occasionally if I need to do a bit of outlining, but not very often.
Yeah, I can't say I've used it. I'd like to have got them, but I've not used it. I've not had a use. Personally, I haven't had a use for them yet, but I will do. It's always something. It's always good to have something in the drawer that you might use once, but it's because you've got it. It saves you all that time.
I mean, I had something once where there was a square shape and it was a recessed panel with like a lip round it. So I just got the pen and went round it like that just on the paint when it was matte, and therefore the ink would take. So it's fine for that. But for panel lining, yeah, unless you've got a bare plastic Gundam, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of chatting between themselves. And that Romax says a question: what, in your opinion, is the best paint brushes to buy, especially for fine detailing? Well, I know that Fox has got some. I'll probably tell you myself that the Winsor & Newton Series 7.
Yeah, the absolute best are Winsor & Newton Series 7.
Yeah.
I still haven't had the nerve to use mine yet. These were very kindly given to me, but I haven't had the nerve to use them yet because they are so beautiful. But it doesn't... There's a lot of snobbery about brushes. I can't get that back in the hole. Can't get it in the hole. There's a lot of snobbery about certain brushes. There doesn't need to be. As long as the brush starts off with a nice point and you look after it properly, so you clean it properly and you use something like a brush soap or something similar to maintain the fibers, any fine detail brush is fine. Those ones, some of the Humbrol do some basic brushes, but they do some really good ones as well. Even just artists' brushes, just as long as it's fine, it's got a nice point to it, you can't go wrong. You don't have to spend a fortune. Obviously, you do get a better quality brush the more you spend. Like you'll get proper sable or what's that really expensive one? It's
Tulska. I don't know. I think
it's some kind of mink or sable. It's got a.
Yeah.
I've been playing Destiny, so all I can think
Kalinsky, is it Kalinsky something?
Kalinsky Sable, that's it.
Kalinsky Sable, yeah. I've got some here somewhere, but I can't put my finger on it.
A lot of people say, oh, you need to use artificial fibers or synthetic or real hair. It doesn't really matter. As long as you look after your brushes, they'll all fine. As long as you've got a nice sharp point. I would say if you're starting out, just start out with cheapy brushes and get used to them. Because by the time you get good and you've got some nice brushes, those cheapy brushes can be off to one side as you're rough and ready scrubbing paint around brushes. So I don't think I've ever thrown a paintbrush away yet, apart from
paintbrushes sort of go down the scale, don't they, from your super fine detailing brushes that you'll treasure, and that will eventually wear itself out and it'll move down the ladder until it's a splash it on brush. Yeah, you just splash it. Right, damn it, I have to get it in. I have to get
That's a new one. Splash it on. I'm gonna have to take this out and use it in my videos now.
Splash it on there. Yeah, you can. And you can scrub around them, and then they become weathering brushes.
Yeah. So, I mean, what it can be useful to do is, if you've never really bought brushes before, go along to an art shop and look at the different brushes and just make a little note of the sizes, because most brush manufacturers have the same size, like 0, 00, 000 size and things like that, but some of them vary the names and the sizes. So just go and have a look in an art shop. There's a big selection of brushes and look at what you think you might need, and then write some stuff down. See, oh, I think I might need this 00 looks quite good. I'll try that. The one thing I will say is that a lot of people don't realize when you're painting really fine details, it's not always best to use a really fine brush. Now, it sounds really counterintuitive, but for example, you won't really see it on camera because it's a webcam, but the black trim about the Master Chief's visor here, it's only about that thick. Now, I use very thin paint, and I'd applied the paint as a wash to get the black trim, to get the rubber look, and I did several coats. I could have used a very fine brush, but what I didn't. It did in the end was not a fine brush. I used a brush which is that big. Because I was doing it as a thinned wash to build up the colour slowly, I wanted the paint just to go straight on. If you use a very thin brush, sometimes that leaves more brush marks. Now, it's kind of counterintuitive. Sometimes for fine detail, you want to use a bigger brush than you think, just because it would be less likely, especially with things like metallic paints, where you can almost literally touch the brush to the model and the paint will just flow onto the part perfectly. I love metallic paints. So sometimes you actually have to use a slightly bigger brush than you think. And it sounds really confusing, but it's one of those things that you'll learn as you develop your brushing skills. So don't assume that to do fine details, you need just a really fine pointy brush. Sometimes it's good to have a few different sizes, because sometimes you'll be like, I'm going to get brush marks here, I'm going to use a slightly bigger brush. And you can just let the paint feed onto the part. It's kind of hard to explain in a 5-minute soundbite, but
yeah, that's you'll see some of these sign writers, they'll paint really intricate signs with big brushes, because they'll especially a flat brush, they'll have a flat brush like that, but turn it on the side and it's a nice narrow brush.
You'll also find lots of brushes like that, where they're really like blade shaped and they're very long and they're very flexible. They're sometimes, that's not quite a pinstriping brush, but they are the really long ones are known as pinstriping brushes. And bizarrely, when somebody paints proper pinstriping on a vehicle, they get a very long brush that's about that long, and they put loads of paint on it, and then they basically just touch the tip to the edge and they drag it along. And because it's a really long brush, they can turn it and curve it round, and that's how proper, you know, pinstripe artists and hot rod artists do that. They use pinstriping brushes. So it's sometimes counterintuitive what brush you think you need, but just get yourself a good selection. Get a nice fine detail brush, a medium-sized brush, get a couple of round tipped brushes as well for general painting flat areas, and you should be good to go while you're figuring it out.
Right. Another question. We have Paul Stewart. No, we haven't got Paul Stewart. We've got Chris Williams. Hi, Chris.
No, we don't answer his question because he sent me an abomination in the post.
Yeah. Hi again. Welcome again, Chris. We don't mind your questions at all. How many unfinished kits do you have on the go at the moment? There is another question, but we'll answer that one in a moment. How many unfinished kits have you got on the go at the moment? What about you lot? How many unfinished kits have you got?
Yeah, how big is your stash?
Yeah,
Is it not finished or just not even started? I think
you mean started but not finished.
I've
got the AFC Matador, which is about that. You see, got the tyres in it. I've got the AFC Matador. I keep meaning to do it, and I keep looking at it, and I keep taking it off the shelf like that, and look at it and put it back again.
Chris at Gross Models. I always get Paul and Chris mixed up, and Chris says, "Oh God, Ted's getting us mixed up now as well." Yeah, deliberate.
Yeah, no, did I get that message from Paul or was it from Chris?
Yeah, it's one of the two. One's little and one's not.
It's like like the two Ronnies.
I mean, when you see them in real life, it's because Chris is tiny. He's not big.
Is he far away?
Well, you see, in terms of ones I've started and not finished, I say two. I've got the Eagle, obviously, and the Voyager Mackie Raider that I started and just never got very far with it.
But hang on. Tell us what else.
Well, yeah, there is one other one.
there is the other one which we won't mention.
Yeah, the Agostini Millennium Falcon, the ongoing.
I think you mentioned it once, but I think you got away with it.
Yeah, so there's that one. So three. In terms of kids,
I'm thinking that was a loaded question.
Yeah, I'm thinking that now as well. Now you've just mentioned that. See, not only did he send me this, you know, they're calling me with those kind of questions. I don't know why I count those two as friends, because they're just evil. They're just evil, bad men.
And his second question was, is anyone actually ambivalent about Marmite? Marmite, what's your view on Marmite?
Everybody says they either love it or hate it, but is anybody like, it's all right?
It's all right.
I like it. I wouldn't say I love it, but I like it. But yeah, it's a question. Can anybody be actually like, yeah, whatever?
Yeah, whatever. I don't mind it. Yeah, if somebody gives it on toast, yeah, I don't mind that. Yeah, give that.
Yeah.
Marmite and Vegemite. Is Vegemite the same thing as Marmite? Is that the Australian?
Similar. Vegemite is tell me if you're Australian or New Zealandish. Vegemite is yeast. No, Marmite's yeast, isn't it?
Marmite, yeah, it's a yeast section.
Yeah, Vegemite is
suitable for vegetarians.
Yeah, I don't know if it's yeast then. I don't know what it is. But Vegemite's nice as well. Very similar. I might have some Vegemite. I would like me some Vegemite.
Yeah, that's still that's the one. Yeah, right. That's
Ron Max says he loves Marmite and fried egg. Ooh, that sounds disturbing yet interesting. I like that. Dave Weiser and Barker get some revenge from me on Chris. He says, "How many kits have you not started? Chris has a big bike."
Yes. Yes, the bike. Yeah, yes. We need to take you outside and talk about that bike.
Yes, which somebody won.
Somebody
on
won
on this very live stream.
Yes, and it shouldn't go. It shouldn't be stashed in a stash. It should be built. Yeah.
Yes.
Part of the agreement. I think that was part of the terms and conditions. And otherwise, he'll have to fetch it back.
Yes. Shadowland Scale Model says Vegemite is yeast extract with B vitamins.
Healthy then.
Yeah, so the same as Marmite then. I
Yeah.
like Marmite. I like Bovril as well, but I like Marmite better.
Marmite and fried egg is great together, says Paul Stewart.
Yeah.
Uh,
Gross Model says soon.tm. So soon TM.
Right.
Yes.
Question coming in from Casper Smith. I'll try and read it. I'll try and read it out. His chat is messing around and he won't let him comment in the chat. Otherwise, he'd have asked us in there. He's asked this in a Facebook page and had a great response because all the guys and girls are awesome. Of course they are. He's trying to get rid of old paint and factory chrome off his models. He can't buy liquid oven cleaner, only foam cleaner, because they're a bit behind the times in Jersey. What would we recommend if he can't get liquid oven cleaner? Yeah, a couple of options. People have even spoke about brake fluid. Have you heard of that one? Brake fluid?
You can use brake fluid, but it's actually quite nasty, so you can't just pour it down the drain. You have to dispose of it correctly. So brake fluid is very good, but it's kind of inconvenient unless you have.
Yeah, I've also heard of Dettol or that antiseptic sort of Dettol, so it's smooth.
Bleach.
Bleach.
Yeah, bleach can be quite good.
Bleach can be quite good. I'd probably have a go at the. I'd firstly have a go with a foam oven cleaner. I can't see it being any different. It's just in a different carrier form, isn't it?
Yeah, if that's like the Mr. Muscle stuff, it might work. I mean, I personally use Oven Pride, which is the gloopy thick, and that works for me. Another good one is Purple Power, but as I don't live in the US, I can't get Purple Power. But that's more of a strong all-purpose cleaner, not particularly an oven cleaner. But yes, brake fluid, if you don't mind it's horribly toxic and you're able to get rid of it responsibly, it's kind of a pain. That works. Do be careful of the plastic on the model, though. Before you do anything, get some of the sprue or a spare part you don't need and test it, because some plastics will fare less well than others in things like bleach and oven cleaner.
Paul Stewart's made a suggestion there. Contact eModels. Contact them on their web page, on the contacts, and ask them if they can ship Carson's to Jersey. That stuff will take anything off. I don't know if it's out of the range of shipping stuff to Jersey.
I don't know. It might be. It's worth a try. Carson's Painkiller. I have a jar here, but I can't find it.
Yeah.
Carson's Painkiller comes in either a bottle or a spray can. It would work. It'd take quite a lot, though. I know bleach will, for most kits, bleach will remove chrome plating. As for paint, depends what paint's on there and whether it's got primer and stuff like that. If it's a lacquer paint, you're not really going to get that off, because you'd have to use lacquer thinners, and then they could potentially damage the plastic.
Yeah.
So it depends what paint's on there. If it's just normal acrylics, then something like bleach might work. It might take a while. You have to put all the bits in the soak it and give it a scrub with a toothbrush every now and then. If you can at some point get Oven Pride, I use that and it's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm not sure of the shops on Jersey. It's a long time since I've been there, but you might even, if you go into sort of a general hardware store and ask if they can get it for you. Sometimes they'll ship to shops, but they won't ship to individual. So it might be a way of getting that way. It sounds like he's talking about rejuvenating an old model, as it's got old paint on it and factory chrome. So it's probably trying to do up an old model. So hopefully that works.
Bleach works on most chrome plated parts, though. We have a question from Jared B. I have a problem with the seals on the Tamiya cement staying put.
You have to answer that one. I can't think of seals on Tamiya cement.
You get like a little seal on the inside of the lid. It always falls out. Don't worry about it. You notice there's not one in there. The little white ring that goes on the top, that always comes out. It's like seals on the cups on airbrush, on the water airbrushes. They only last about a day.
I've just noticed that. I never knew there was one there. Look.
Yeah. No, mine always fall out. It doesn't matter.
No.
At all.
Can push it back in. Yeah.
Oh, I've got glue smells now. That was a bad move.
Yeah.
Unexpected glue smells. Yes, don't worry about it. It's not a problem.
Have we any more on the emails coming in? Hi, Fox, from Jamie Bourne. Continuing on from last week, what do you think about ham and jam sandwiches? Ham and jam.
Ooh.
Not for me.
Yeah, I could do that. I don't mind mixing the sweet and the savoury.
Ham and jam. No,
I
sorry.
mean, yesterday for my tea, I had some peri peri chicken wraps and a big pile of Swedish meatballs. So I mix all kinds of flavours, me.
What the meatballs from IKEA, was it?
No, it was meatballs from the corner shop. They had them in a packet. It was 60 seconds in the microwave.
Yeah.
PL.
Yeah, why is it you can go to IKEA and come away with 2 footstools, a chair, a wardrobe, and a pack of meatballs?
Because they do meat. When you go to IKEA, it's either meatballs or hot dogs. It's the 2 IKEA foods when you go and eat in them, and they are nice.
Yeah,
they are nice.
Yeah.
Going back to the question of stripping chrome and that. PLA Ground says, I love brake fluid for stripping. It will remove chrome and gold pretty quickly and doesn't damage the plastic. What Fox said, though, don't dump it down your drain. It eats metal. It's also, I think, illegal because it's a highly toxic substance. So you have to dispose of it, I think, at your local dump or in go to a garage, like car repair garage. They can probably dispose of it for you. So it's not brilliant, but you can just keep it in a container and reuse it. Yeah. You don't have to pour it away. You can strip your bits off and put the brake fluid back in the tin. Just wear gloves and a mask because it's not very nice.
Yeah, I think we did have. Yeah, the second part of Jamie Bourne's question is about putting plastic tanks on a track. Plastic tracks on a tank. Yeah, I must learn to read.
It will come in handy.
Yeah, come in handy someday. He's recently purchased from eModels the 135 Centurion. Good kit, good choice. And it says that I have to melt the track pins together with a screwdriver.
That'll be a Tamiya kit then.
Yeah, that'll be a Tamiya kit. Should I just do that or glue them first and then melt them? Neither. I would just staple them together. Use a stapler, a simple office stapler, staple the joint together. Put the joint round so it's behind the side skirts and you never see it and never know the difference.
Yeah. The reason they say you have to heat them and make the little mushroom is because if it's the old Tamiya rubber tracks that you can flop around, it doesn't actually work with most glues because it's a specific kind of, I forget if it's polypropylene. No. It's not polypropylene, it's polyethylene. It won't stick it at all. So yeah, staples is dead easy.
If you're going to want the trouble of melting, sort of heating screwdrivers up to try and melt the rubber, the screwdriver gets too hot, you melt a hole in the rubber and all the end falls apart. So you might as well.
I mean, it is easy because I used to do it when I was a kid. And I was like, wow, I'm using a candle and I'm using a tea light and a screwdriver. It's hardcore engineering. It's brilliant.
I was never successful doing it that way. I did always used to melt through the rubber on the track.
Yeah. You're obviously ham-fisted, aren't you, Ted?
Yeah, and then there'd be strings of like rubber off. Yeah,
you need to make your honorary member of Team Inept. Hashtag Team Inept.
Yeah.
But yeah, staples is even easy. Just staple.
Yeah. Once I read on the Facebooks that trick about stapling together, I was away. Yeah, never looked back. Right. 21:59 already. It's 10 o'clock.
I know. Playground or PLA Ground says sausage, egg, and cheese on a garlic bagel with strawberry jam. It's the business. Sounds actually really nice. The thing is, right, I put sweet chili sauce on everything as well as soy sauce. Here's 2 things. First of all, sweet chili sauce is sweet, not savory, and that works on savory food. So sweet and savory together is fine. Here's my big question. This is one to put out to the chat. And it's not model making related, but I've just remembered it, and it really does my head in. When you buy soy sauce, why do they give you bottles with no kind of dropper option? You get them sometimes with a little tiny hole, and you can just do that over your food, and you get little drops. I've just got a bottle of it, and it's just the top of the bottle. It's like that wide. And if you tip the bottle, you get like a gallon of soy sauce, which makes your kidneys and your liver just dissolve. Why do they do that?
Why do you get them portions of soy sauce? Why is the container shaped like a fish?
In sushi, because it's sushi. Also, crazy Japanese, this awesomeness. Because sushi's, well, it's not always, especially if you've got vegetable sushi, it doesn't really work. But yeah, why did they give you soy sauce with no little stopper? It's like, oh, I hate that. Anyway, moving on. I just wanted to air that. I would say it out loud to somebody. It does my head in.
Yeah, you see, this isn't a serious modelling program. It's just about us getting together and having a chat.
Ron Mack has a question for you, Ted. Just get Mrs. Ted in as a guest so we can quiz her about what it's like living with a legend.
Yeah, she'd be telling you how good it is to live with her and how she allows me to do this when I'm not decorating or have a list.
Yeah,
list.
Would she be talking about how she has to put up with things?
Yeah, and she has to. Yeah, she'll tell you about how she sends me texts to put the washing in or let the chicken out.
Are you finished your live stream yet? Can you bring the cleaning in?
Yeah. Have you finished your chit chat yet? Can you put the washing in?
Chit chat.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes. Right. Next part. Should we go and have a look at what's in store?
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. We're on the hour. We're going to have a look at what's in store. I'll lock it on me.
And you said we're doing a Tamiya night tonight, didn't you?
We're going to do a Tamiya night tonight. We'll look at some of the kits that probably most of us have built in the past at some time. I bet there's not many people out there. I'll just look at it.
There's some new ones, but there's some kind of classics in this.
Yeah, and I bet there's not many people out there that haven't had a Tamiya kit go across their workbench at some time in their modelling career. Either a small one. Yeah, they must have. Yeah, I think after Airfix, you move on to Tamiya, don't you?
Yeah, that's the natural. If you grew up in the 70s or 80s, it's kind of the natural progression. I assume in the 90s, but I was already an adult by then.
Yeah,
but we've had a lot of eModels have had a lot of stock come in.
Yeah, I'll have to refresh my memory about what Pete's been telling me while we've been online together. Right, let's go across and have a look at it. Lock it on me. Then I'll find the share button, not the stop broadcast one.
Smooth from Smooth's Workshop says the way the English folks say Tamiya does my head in. It's the guy's name. Mr. Tamiya. It could be Tamiya, I suppose.
Yeah, Tamiya.
Not Tamiya. It's not Tamiya, I know that much.
Yeah, I did read something about him the other day, but I can't remember what it was. He started working a little factory or something like that, didn't he? Oh, right.
Yeah, Chris says Tamiya, not Tamiya. Well, it's potato, banana. There we go.
Right.
Right, what have we got, Tedward?
Right. Well, first of all, eModels themselves are one of the largest UK stockists of Tamiya.
This is true.
Yep, they're true, and they have they stock the full range. You told me to tell you that they stock the full range. But one thing about the Tamiya range with eModels, they do sell out pretty quick, and they do. If some of the stuff is on here tonight, because we do find that once we show it on what's in store, some of the stuff goes out of stock pretty quickly. So they're having another big delivery from Tamiya on Thursday. So he tells me.
Excellent.
So that.
Yes. If you see something here and you go, oh, I need that, and you
right. So what have we got? Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's the bits. What have we got? We've got the Tamiya 124th Mercedes AMG GT3.
That is a beast. Look at that
That's
car.
a beast, isn't it? Look
You
at
know
that.
how I was saying like the last few weeks that Americans can't design nice cars because they just can't.
Well, that's not American.
Americans just can't design cars anymore. The Germans, on the other hand.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Recreates
24th, did you say?
124 scale. It's big.
Yeah, it's not small.
And one thing about
it's the kind of car that looks like it roars.
Yeah, and one thing about Tamiya, they are good price kits, and they're detailed. I wonder if there's any picture of it. No, unfortunately, there's no picture of this one. The full-size car is a 6.3 litre. Yes, that would be.
What a beast!
That would need to be followed by
almost as big as my Fiesta's engine because I could put a shark mouth on. It's like 13 litres.
Yep. It's a scale model assembly recreates a 2016 Mercedes. It's a GT3 class spec customer sports car that was converted, etc. You only can read all that yourself.
Yeah.
Go
look at that. The beauty about Tamiya is that they're like the Bandai of the glue kit world. So, yeah, I mean, I've built a few. Believe it or not, I've actually built a few cars from Tamiya in my past, and they are really nice. Even the old kits are just like really nice. So that, 124 scale.
Sorry, I just wonder what the noise was here in my workshop. It's the wind getting up. It's a wind rustling across the roof. And here's another one. Some of these are new kits, or it tells eModels tells that they are new kits, but I think some of them are old kits that's either been reboxed, retooled, or
reissued. They do pause their lines sometimes and stop production for a few years and then bring them back again. Seems to be a thing with Japanese manufacturers. So some of these might be reissues of kits that haven't been around for a little while.
Now, I'm trying to get a bit of everything in for everybody tonight, and this is a tank for the tanky guys out there, because I know that everybody's not into sci-fi and things like that. But
now we've seen the Egg KV2. This is
we've seen the Egg one, and this is the 135th scale Russian heavy tank.
Nate Bliss says, "Glorious tank for glorious Russia."
Yeah.
His workshop says it looks like a Toontank. There is a Toontank of the KV2, and it's actually more adorable.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yes. Yeah. Speaking of the Toontanks, we must remember that we will in the near future, and especially now that we'll have a little announcement later on in the program, we may be able to get together and do this live build for a Toontank each.
Yeah. We were thinking about the suggestion from the other week where we do like a build in an hour or 2 hours or something, or like a live stream where we do a full build and paint as much as we can in, say, 2 hours. And we kind of thought, yeah, it might be good to do some Toontanks. So we might do some Toontank builds.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. Yep. So there we are. 22.49. Saving there. Next one.
What I was saying earlier on about sometimes stuff gets paused in production. Vincent and Mr. Model Maker says that's why his space battleship Yamato hangar is still on back order because it's out of print at the minute. And for some reason, Japanese manufacturers, they'll do a big run of kits and then they'll stop. But it's usually because they have a massive line of kits. So they'll do a big run of kits and stop. And then maybe 1 or 2 years later, they'll do another printing. So it's not uncommon for like old kits to suddenly get re-released after a few years. So some of these will be that. Some of these will be brand new toolings and things like that.
Yeah, so here we are. It's something a little bit different. Well, it's not different. I know that we've covered the 6-wheel Tyrrell before in kit form, but this is the 1/10th radio controlled Tyrrell. And yeah,
It doesn't make that noise though.
Yeah.
Although there'll be a Japanese model maker that's actually built a sound unit into it that makes exactly that noise.
Yeah, you can get one. You can get them. I know you can get. Yep. But they sound just as good without the sound kit. Let's have a look. This is the Japan Grand Prix. Began in the Spanish Grand Prix 1976. Cracky, was it that long ago?
Yeah. We're going back to James Hunt era here.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had an Aurora slot car racing set. Like it was like the American version of Scale Electric, and it was a James Hunt set. That's how old I am.
Yeah, just the chassis is the same. Yeah, so it looks like everything's there. It's separately required. You want the 2-channel RC unit, a battery pack and charger, and your batteries for the transmitter. But now I know that most folk, if they are into RC, they've probably already got that sort of stuff anyway, and it would just a matter of transferring that stuff from one model to another.
Smooth Workshop says, spend ages building and painting it, then crash it into a wall. He'd cry if he did that.
That's why I never built a radio control aircraft, because I want them perfect. I'd have them perfect, but then I'd crash it as soon as I took off and carry it home in a black plastic bag.
There is actually quite a popular, I mean, there is in Japan, but around the world, there is actually quite a popular radio-controlled racing scene, especially for things like Formula One and vintage Formula One. There's obviously lots of different types of the racing, but the actual sort of formula racing in remote control is actually quite a thing, apparently.
I know a lot of radio control stuff, especially kits, sort of have fallen out of favour with, especially with kids, because they want stuff that you just take out the box and ready to go. But this is a little bit different. It's a bit of a kit. You've got to put most of it together, and then it can ready to go. But
the Tamiya stuff that the kids like is like the off-road vehicle type things, like the Frog, which is legendary. I had one of those. But this stuff is more for your hardcore racer. But it's going to be awesome because Tamiya do just some awesome remote control stuff.
Yeah, it looks like there's some pretty substantial work going on in there. Rear fin, it looks adjustable as well, perhaps. Maybe. Or you can certainly make it adjustable. I don't
know if it's a standard Tamiya polycarbonate clear shell. It might be.
Yeah, I can't see.
But they do a range of polycarbonate paints specifically for clear RC shells.
Yeah, because you paint them all from the inside, don't you? You've got to work. Yeah, you've got to work backwards with these. But there it is. There's the Tamiya RC next. Tyrrell, 6-wheel Tyrrell, Japan.
I don't like racing, but even I know a Tyrrell when I see it. It's one of those race cars that's just like you just know it.
Yep.
Chris Smith says he has not that Chris Smith, the other Chris Smith says he has 7 RC cars. His biggest is 1/8 petrol. They are awesome, but he does agree with Ted. It's bad when you crash. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Let's have a look at the next one. Oh, yeah, I remember building this one.
Childhood memories. We're going retro.
Yeah, we're going retro again. You must have built this. You certainly got to build it. The British Long Range Desert Group Command Car.
Yeah.
Yes. There's one of these in the Imperial War Museum. I'm sure there is.
Yes, there was one in. I went to a museum and it had a diorama of the Battle of Arnhem, and it had one of these. I've made one of these when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think I made this one as well. This
is a classic. This is a classic Tamiya kit.
Yeah, that's a classic one. Yeah, and it's only $17.99, so it's pocket money. Yeah, well, it's today's kids. It's pocket money to them, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Tamiya. One thing Tamiya excel at is the 1/35th military scale. They kind of pioneered it. Yeah. And even these kits, like this kit is, I think, about 30 years old now, but it compares like with modern kits. Even the old Tamiya stuff is better now than a lot of current manufacturers' stuff. So it doesn't come with necessarily photo etch or anything like that, because that didn't happen in those days. But
but they've been around so long that the aftermarket guys have got the stuff out there too. If you want to super detail it, there'll be stuff out there that you can do it with as well. So you can start with a basic kit for what, 18 quid?
Yeah.
And then detail it to your heart's content. Yeah.
Smooth says one of the first 1/35th scale models he made was the Bofors gun and tractor, but he can't remember who made it. I think it was Tamiya.
Yeah,
pretty sure, because they did a Bofors.
Yeah, that's
but yeah, that is a beautiful kit. It's got loads and loads of little bits and details and everything. It's got squishy rubber tires. It's got the full chassis. They do it with full chassis and steering, so you can turn the wheels. The wheels turn. It's got the figures with it, because Tamiya excel at figures. One thing Tamiya does really, really well is figures. Even 30, 40 years ago, their figure sculpts are far superior to some modern manufacturers like Italeri. They just don't do figures very well, whereas Tamiya have always done awesome figures. It's well worth it. It's a good build, and you can do a Pink Panther version if you want.
There's a desert pink one there, yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah. And unlike the German army kits, you actually get a comedy Tommy in the instructions, not a comedy Nazi.
Yeah. This is for the fans of the motorcycles. I know that Tony's built one of these. Was his Tamiya one? I don't know if it was that.
Yeah, the Yamaha something numbers, letters, dark side.
I'm not sure if it's the same motorbike, but
yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah,
it might not be.
So pictures of this one, yeah. So pictures of the model. Yeah, look at that. Yep. Brilliant. There's a whole range of these, and if you remember, there's the riders to go with them. You can get the riders as extras to put them on as well.
It might be the same one, actually. I'm not sure. No, I don't think it is the same one.
No, his was a Rossi, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the Rossi Special. It might be a more modern version.
I just apologise to all your motorcycle fans out there. Fox and I are
keep making the noises.
Yeah, are not great motorcycle fans. Well, not. We don't know a lot about them, so
I'd rather have four wheels, air conditioning, comfy seat, and a stereo. But there you go.
An ashtray.
Yes. Just going back to when we were talking about remote control cars. Vincent from Listels Model Making says, Fox, that's why Tamiya 1/10 cars are insanely popular. You can get them ready to go, and there's a proper Tamiya manufacturer's cup scene for them. Anyway, back to the motorbike. 22 quid.
22 quid. Yep, brilliant. And there's
for a 1/12 scale mod bike.
1/12 scale, big, yeah, and there's lots of aftermarket stuff as well out there, as we've seen. I think Tony was fitting some aftermarket stuff as well.
Yes, Tamiya kits often come with a big sort of availability of aftermarket or third-party stuff. But yeah, 1/12 scale, and it's only 22 quid.
Yeah, so as I say, it's a Tamiya night tonight, and there is the whole page, the whole section. If you just go across to
Carl to make a model says Tony made the YZR M109. There you go.
That's right. Yeah, that's what he did. It was on the tip of my tongue. I just couldn't think of it. Yeah. The German 8-ton semi-track. I built that one as well, I think. And there's the
that's the Hanamagi one. I've done that one.
Yeah, there was the 88mm toe behind it as well, wasn't there?
Yep, I did. You can actually buy the 88mm with gun crew as a separate kit. I've done that one. I've done the little motorbike and sidecar. I did a Kubelwagen. I did the Opel Blitz. I've done. There's just.
Yep.
It's like when I said the other week when somebody said, I want to build tanks. What should I be? I've never built a tank before. What should I start with? And we both said Tamiya.
Tamiya. Yeah.
Tamiya. Go for. And I suggested the Tamiya T62 because it's like a 45-year-old kit, but it's beautiful and the quality is fantastic. Even if you go back 30, 40 years, there's never really any major issues with Tamiya kits. They've always had exceptional quality.
I just I had never noticed these before. Tamiya do 1/100th kits, 350.
Oh, that's almost 1/44 scale. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Because Chris did ask, "Where's the 1/44 scale cars?"
Yeah. But they'll be in here somewhere. There'll be something in here. This is the first page. This is 45 images of the Tamiya build in the eModels store. And don't forget, I just noticed the part at the bottom there. Congratulations to eModels to once again be nominated for the Digital Entrepreneur Awards. For
yes, they are in the final 4.
Yes.
Which is, I think, is decided in November, Pete told me.
Yep. So they've all got to get their dinner suits and the dicky bows out of hock.
Yes.
And get them all, get them back from the shop and get them ironed and pressed and ready for the presentations, which I think are in November.
Yes, November time.
Yep. So good.
I'm sure it'll be our guys and then 3 other companies nobody cares about. So it'll be fine. We'll be fine. There'll
be eModels and people that you've never even heard of.
eModels and some small people, some little people that we don't care about. Yeah.
Good luck to them and congratulations on being nominated again.
Yes.
Right.
Keep getting all these awards. It's almost like there's a reason for it. I don't know. There must be a reason for it, I think.
I think he needs a bigger store just to put all the awards that he's going to win.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, he needs a bigger store to put all the builds that me and you are doing for them because they're massive. He's already run out of space on the shelves, and we've got like your submarine and my Eagle to go at some point.
Yeah, we need a bigger shop. Put our models in it. Right.
Paul Stewart says they're in the top 4 because they're bloody good.
Yes.
Hello, Ted. We're looking at you. We're looking at your washing machine there. What's all about?
That's the other side of the workshop.
That was your spray booth. You unlocked it from you.
Oh, right. Where have you gone? Oh, there you are.
I'm here. See, there's lovely.
There you go. Right.
Paul Stewart says, "Love you, Gav mate and Pete mate. Give me freebies." There's always a motive.
Yeah, you don't know. They might have gone to bed now. You know, he's late. He's late.
Chris Smith, not the other Chris Smith, says, "Oh, the wife just walked in whilst I was on the eModels website. Please say hello to Monica, and she will let me press the buy now button." Hi, Monica.
Hey, Monica. Let him press the button.
You're awesome. You're awesome.
Be nice to him. It's nearly Christmas.
Yeah, best missus ever.
Yeah, best wishes ever. Yeah, he talks about you all the time. You know, he come in.
Yeah, he adores you. Never says about you.
Right. Yep.
Smooth says, "Hello, Monica. Look away now." Well,
what's that over there?
The paying bit.
My God, look behind you. There's a spider.
Yeah. Playground or PLA ground. Tell me if it's PLA ground because I know I can see what it's a reference to, or is it playground? Says, "I love Tamiya that SAS Pink Panther is on my list for a 135 scale machine and Krieger diorama." Mackay.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Good.
I know my machine and Krieger. Pseudo steampunk, alternative future, weird nonsense sci-fi. Yet to do one.
Right, yeah. It's playground.
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 In plastic.
Yeah, go out in playground.
Yeah, I think it's like a reference to pla plate. Pla mo. Last time Team Mac. Playground says decal decal. Decal. Or speckles, as I think Graham calls them now. Right. Shall I do an announcement? Would you like to do an announcement?
Got the announcement. Should we do the announcement? Should we tell them some great news? What they've all been? Well, hopefully
exciting news.
Go for it, Fox. You tell them, and I'll sort out a question for the giveaway.
You'll pull a question out of your backside while I. Right. As you all know, for the last few years, as well as these live streams, there's been 3 of us doing videos for eModels. There's myself. There's Tedward McSkipperton over there in the corner with the awesome moustache. And there's Tony, who sadly doesn't often get time to come on the live stream, but he also makes videos for eModels. Now, a decision has been made. At the moment, Ted and I have done a brilliant thing of building massive kits that take a long time. And also we've got lots of commitments with other things as well, which means we don't get a chance to put lots of videos on all the time. A decision has been taken to add a new person to the roster. We have a new video type personage who is going to be doing films for eModels. So it's going to be me, Ted, Tony, and now we don't know when the first one's going to be. He's not even decided what he's building yet. But we would like you to say hello to Ant from Bashing Kits, who will be the 4th member of the eModels video making building team. So Ant, well done. Congratulations. eModels decided that Ant will be a perfect fit. and decided to ask him if he would consider making videos for them along his own stuff. And he's accepted, so he will be making models as well as his own stuff, models for eModels, more making videos for eModels.
Congratulations.
Now, if you know and stuff on Bashing Kits, he does a lot of sci-fi and tiny 144 stuff, hashtag Team 144. But he's not going to just focus on sci-fi. He'll go wherever the mood takes him and look at different things and be like, oh, I fancy that one. But hopefully it'll be a nice counterbalance to me and Ted, who tend to do big-ass things because we're idiots. Although I think after the Eagle, I might go for something smaller. But Ant has this ability to work super, super fast. I don't know how he does it. He's like, right, I'm going to build this kit. It's painted. There you go. Done. So I think he's going to be an awesome addition to the channel, to the eModels channel. Yep. So it means that you should hopefully, once he gets going, we'll get some more videos on the channel. So there's 3 of us doing it, and unfortunately all 3 of us have certain time pressure, so we can't be making videos all the time. Yeah. So it's always good to get more content on the YouTube channel. So stay tuned. He hasn't decided what he's getting yet.
Yeah, it's going to be great seeing a new face, seeing some new techniques, and seeing a different take on how somebody else puts things together.
I've learned. I mean, both Ted and I have learned things from Ant, because you know, Ted and I, sometimes we have our old traditional way of doing things. Sometimes Ant comes along and says, "Why don't you just do this?" And the whole thing of a magic wash, I never thought of that. Just using gloss varnish and paint.
Yeah,
it's a wash and a gloss varnish at the same time. That was Ant's idea. He made that up in his brain and everything.
Yeah, it's clever. He thinks we just put things together. He thinks and then puts things together. Yeah. And then we think, why did we do that?
Because we're idiots. Because we're old. We don't have the plasticity in our brains to think of something new. Yeah. I just bang the hammer against the thing.
There are a few people who mentioned Dora. We have suggested to Peter that he might like to make a start on the 1/35th scale Dora. But
that'd be like approximately 3,000 times bigger than anything else made in the last 2 years. So just a quick one, I'll say we don't know when the first one's going to be. Ant's got to figure out what he's going to build yet, and all that kind of stuff. So it's in the future. He's coming up. So just like you to say welcome to Ant as the 4th.
Yeah. So if you get a new face popping up on screen, no, we haven't left. We're still here. You can't get rid of us. Yeah.
He might not be joining in the live streams, you know, at the moment, because it's a whole different thing doing a live stream like this, and some people are suited to it, some people don't like to do it. So, but we'll let Ant get settled in first. You may see him on the live streams at some point, you may not, but either way, you'll certainly see his what I find a wonderfully dry sense of humour. I do like Ant's sense of humour.
Yeah. So you'll see it popping up on Facebook pages and things like that. And
he's also not afraid to take the mickey out of me and Ted on camera. So we appreciate that even more.
Yeah, he's not coming on. Don't tell him he's not coming on.
So anyway, so that's the awesome, exciting news going forward. So I say, don't know when it'll be, but very, very soon.
Right. Brilliant. Welcome, Ant. Welcome along.
Yes, well done.
Some of you guys may see him is he's here tonight and moderating for us.
Yes, he is Bashing Kits.
Bashing Kits, that's him.
Yes.
Well, I'll have a look at his stuff on his YouTube channel as well. See what the sort of stuff he's going to bring along to eModels. Right, time for the giveaway.
Well, before we do that, Paul Stewart says, question, when does Ant start making Revell kits for eModels? They don't hate him.
No. Yeah. Give him time.
Vincent Mr. Lowe says, 1/44 scale Dora, the scale will be in theme with you, Ant.
Yeah, that's, let him in. Yeah, be gentle on him, folks. Yeah, be gentle on him.
Chris says, but eModels don't do Bandai.
Yet.
There are many things in the future which may or may not happen.
Yeah,
many other things. There are many plans.
Yeah, it's just
none of which you guys know.
Yeah, it's just they haven't got any shelves to put stuff on.
Yeah. A lot of things are dependent on them expanding their warehouse, which is without going into the sausage factory bit. Yeah, there are plans. Yeah. So there's lots of things that I've hassled Pete to start stocking. Trust me, he knows.
Yeah, he makes notes. He takes notes. Yeah.
Pete mate sees all things. Nothing is forgotten ever. When it comes to business, nothing is forgotten. So yeah, don't say never about anything.
And that's an excellent remark by Gross Models there. Not a team, it's a family.
Yes.
We're all part of the family. You guys are part of the family as well.
Yeah. You're all part of the eModels family. Yeah. But yes, there are things. I wouldn't be surprised if a few years from now you've got eModels selling frame arms girls and things like that, and Kota Bikuya, and I'll work. I'm working on your behalf. People that like Gunpla and Bandai and things.
Yeah,
like
we're offering to go as ambassadors for eModels to Japan. If they care to send us to if eModels care to send us to Japan to search out some deals and things like that, unfortunately, we'd have to go. Yeah,
you have to do it face to face. I mean, Bandai still work on fax. So
yeah. These Japanese work face to face and touching skin, shaking hands and things like that. That's how it's good. Yeah, but if you need us to go to Japan, we'll go.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Just send the tickets.
Yeah, maybe pick up some samples.
Yeah,
Bob Robinson says Fox pub glass with a handle, nice. Yeah, proper dimple beer glass. I've had this
real glass. You don't get them now. I've never seen them now.
I think I actually got this from a pub. That means I stole it. Shut up. Shh, moving next. Anyway, carry on.
Changing it. We'll change it for an eModels mug. An eModels mug.
You made a funny noise there, Ted.
eModels mug.
No, I mean something went whoop. I think you've got a word from the dove from above. Evil Monkey 1979 says
Peter's just sent me a text. Yes, of course. Yeah, I'll email you the tickets tomorrow.
Here we go to Japan road trip. Excellent. I've always wanted to go to Japan and get completely confused by all them.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be business class. First class will be fine. It doesn't have to be business.
But I reckon 6 weeks probably just enough to at least see the uniform.
We need to get around a few manufacturers and see the process and things like that.
I could come back with 3 or 4 Gunpla kits and he could sell those. There you go. That's done.
Right.
Evil Monkey 1979 says, Dad, Fox, can I have some pocket money? It's a dad glass. That's what it is. My dad used to have a pint glass. He used to pour his beer from a great height from a can.
Yeah.
70s when he used to drink Breaker. Oh, there's an old beer.
Carl said his mugs arrived from eModels, which reminds us we've got an eModels mug to give away.
Yay.
Yes.
Carl, are you going to use it for actual beverages, or are you going to use it as like a brush mug or a wash mug? A lot of people use them as wash mugs or brush mugs.
Yeah.
I've only got one, so I just use it as a...
Yeah, take some pictures and send them in.
Yeah.
If you get a mug, get a picture, send it to eModels.
Carl says, sitting next to my King Tiger will take some pics and post on eModels.
Good lad.
Good lad.
Yes, good lad. Right. Yeah, we'll do another mug giveaway.
TK says, I still only have a cheap Chinese knockoff mug, even spells eMopals. eMopals is a great website. You should go and check out eMopals.com, I think it was it.
Okay.
eMopals.com.
eMopals.com. Yeah.
I'll just check. Hang on. Let me just check. eMopals.com. Yeah, go in. I'll put it in the chat for people. Go and check out eMopals.com. Brilliant website. Absolutely brilliant website. You may not understand the language, but it's fine.
Right. Yeah, well, we will do a mug giveaway. We'll get around to giving it away. As usual rules, if you want a mug, you can have a mug. Well, you can try for the giveaway to get a mug. If you've already got one and you want another one, you're quite welcome to enter again. If you've got one and don't want one but know the answer to the question, please don't answer it. Give somebody else a chance.
Yes.
Yes. And it's simple as that. That's all it is. It's only a mug. It's a bit of fun. Just to keep the interest going.
Yeah. Carl answered my question, by the way. He says, oh, beverages. I am a potter who used to work in Longton. I have mugs coming out of my ears.
Right, the question.
Yes. What is the question that you've come up with, Ted, that I don't know the answer
to? We showed you the Tamiya 124th Mercedes. What's the product code number? What's the hashtag number for eModels?
I mean, you're mostly Ted because I don't know what it is.
I know. Yeah, what's the hashtag number? We don't need the hashtag. We just need the number of the kit.
As always, it's the first one we see. We don't see the chat the same way you do. We see it prioritized by the way that they actually come in. You see it prioritized to you.
The first one there is Gavin Mulvin.
Is that right?
Is that it's coming 24345. Maybe he was really quick.
Cool. Wow, that was fast.
That was
Gavin Mulvin. You've won yourself a mug.
Yeah, Gavin Mulvin. Yeah. He must have been looking at that or had it in his basket. Maybe.
TK says hashtag give TK a real mug. We're gonna have to ask Pete just to send him a mug, aren't we?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, if it wasn't for TK, there wouldn't have been a live stream tonight because I wouldn't.
I think for being an awesome mod, looking after our lovely chatters, I think he does deserve a mug. Pete, you need to send TK a mug. Yeah. Ted will sort out the details.
Yeah. Gaz in Melbourne, please send me your.
I'll put the email address in.
Address to me at ted@emodels.co.uk.
I can't type and do chat, and I can't do it. at emodels.co.uk. And do go and check out eModels.com. It's
yeah, that was a bit of a sly move there because Gross Models, he was on the eModels website. He was on the wrong website.
Yeah, making models, but everyone had eModels open. Yeah, go and look at this website. Right, here's the answer. Here's the question.
Good. Yes, excellent. Well done.
Smooth says, must remember to have the eModel site up next time. Yeah, we do it. Some people do sometimes say they get a lot of lag, but we literally go off the first. We see it, so the first comment we see is the first one that YouTube receives. So yeah, we see it differently to the way you guys see it. But it's just a fun thing. It's nothing serious, so don't worry about it.
It's a book. It's just a bit of fun. It's just to get everybody interested and have a look. Getting you to go have a look at the eModels website. So
Smooth says, I wonder if there's a Ted at eModels.
Yeah, there's a Morple, Ted Morple.
Ted.
Professor Ted. Professor Ted.
It'd be Todd.
Professor Ted. Tedwood. Yep.
Captain Ted is becoming predictable, says Stephen Hill Harris.
Yeah, but it might always be. Yeah. Next week, everybody will have the eModels website up, and I'll do something totally different.
Yeah. See, we were asked at one point not to make because we tend to ask questions that are like very UK centric. Like they'll be about something that we've just talked about, like from like when we were kids in the 70s or 80s. We kind of make that mistake of sometimes making it very UK centric. So we need to make sure the questions are not something that only people in the UK will know, because you guys come from all over the place. Yeah. In fact, where is everybody from? Put down where you're from. I want to see where everybody's from tonight.
Yeah, go for that.
If we've got anybody from South America again, we had somebody from Brazil last time. TK said it's sorry. Chris Smith said it's the only number he wrote down.
What else we're going to do? Yeah, we did get a message, by the way.
Did we get a message?
We get a message
from above.
We've got a message from because it said it's 10:30 already.
Wow.
And I haven't put the washing in yet.
Have you not? Oh, you're in trouble. You're going to get in the doghouse. You are. Well, what's worse for you is you don't have a doghouse. You have a chicken house, which is even worse.
I'll be in the chicken house.
Yeah, that's really small. Let's have a look. Okay, we got some responses to where people are from. We'll do your thing in a minute. Dave Barker says, my mum. Dave.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Smooth says Edinburgh. We've got Niklas from Sweden, Vincent from Belgium, Jersey Channel Islands, a dark and damp Stevenage from Bob Bobbington.
Stevenage, you know it's dark and damp.
I'm being passed a note.
T-shirt. is that like the? We've just had this news flash.
I've had a wee little note. I'm getting the 445. Somebody's reminded me that you said you were giving away a T-shirt.
Oh yes, I'll give you a T-shirt. Yeah, I'll give you a T-shirt in a minute.
Okay. What, as well as the mug?
As well as mug. Yeah, I'll do a T-shirt. I forgot about the T-shirt.
Yes. We have Belgium, Jersey Channel Islands, a dark and damp Stevenage. Is that just Stevenage? Beer Regis, Dorset, near the Tank Museum. Nice. London, you know where I'm from, says TK. TK's from Vikings. That's where TK's from. Gaz in Malvern. Strangely enough, it's Malvern. Snottingham, the Wirral Meds. Hello, Fox's mum, says Paul Stewart. Yes, it was me mum. She watches the stream, so she just passed me the note saying, was she on camera? She didn't like being on camera. Did she actually appear on camera? That'd be hilarious.
Just a hand. It was like we've just been handed a news flash.
It's like we used to have a telephone on the news desk in the 70s, but I'm just getting received now a word. We have Hawthorne, California. Cool. Durham, Puffin Land, says Scott from Orkney. He doesn't say much.
Yeah.
Space, says Bob Bobbington. Space.
Ooh.
Space. Hey, lady, space. We have Toledo, Ohio in the USA. Cool.
Wow. It's certainly international this evening.
Yeah. Awesome. Right. Do you want to do the...
I'll do a T-shirt. Simple question. I think I might have asked it before, but anybody that's been watching, what is the number of the U-boat that I'm building? Go.
Wait, what? The number for what? Which number do you mean?
It's U.
I don't remember that one. This should be interesting.
Yeah, it's a 148.
Oh, hang on, that's thinking.
It's a 148 scale trumpeter U-boat.
Yep. U. Something. Little bit of searching on the eModels website, perhaps. We've got U571, 1, 2. I don't know what the number is. 576.
You know it when you see it.
U571. No, not the actual product number, Chris. The actual number of the U-boat. I don't remember the number. U2 says gross models. U552.
Mr. Loth says U552. That's it. That's the one. Yep.
For some reason in my head, Paul Stewart says you great big bugger. In my head it was U552, but I couldn't remember.
Yeah, Mr. Loth, I forgot if you send me your address. You know where to send it to.
Yes, ted@emodels.co.uk.
ted@emodels.co.uk. Yep, you know where to find me. And your size, I will only have medium and XXL. So if you fit
either too big or too small or just right.
Yeah. If it's too small, you can stretch it, or if it's too big,
hang on the wall, put it in a frame.
Yeah, if it's too big, you can put it in the tumble dryer and shrink it.
Yeah, if it's far too small, just wear it as a do-rag around your head.
Yeah.
Got a hardcore Gears of War.
It's a t-shirt like the one Mr. Fox is modelling this evening.
Yeah, showing off man boobs because unhealthy.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway,
where were we?
To the serious business. The reason why people need to stick around to the very end of the stream.
Yeah, so we have. I'm just going to get a picture of it. Hang on.
This is why we always say don't leave until we press the stop button.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know every time we do one of these streams what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Sometimes things happen.
Now then, as you know, we like to do the big giveaway of the evening for everybody. Those that can't get along to the chat and those that watch us on catch up. And we like everybody to take part if they want to. And tonight is your chance to take part. I'm going to share the screen. And can you share the screen? Can you see that?
Nope.
No.
Have you locked it to you as well?
Share the screen. There we go.
Dave Barks said we not do one last week. No, we didn't.
There we go. We're doing this. We're giving this away.
Oh,
I know it's a tank. We haven't given a tank away for a while now, and it's a tank. It's a Chieftain Mark 11, which is very similar to the one that Tony's building. So if you want to know how to build it, you could build it following Tony's videos. Yeah, the Tacom 135 Chieftain Mark 11.
Tacom do some awesome tanks
and awesome kit. As you see from Tony's videos, he puts it together fantastically.
Yeah. Now, like Ted said, we try and with these big giveaways, we do them so everyone can enter. So the way to win this is when we finish this stream, give it about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then the stream will be archived on the eModels page. Don't comment on the live stream now because it won't do the comment. Don't comment in the chat. All you need to do we have a phrase, by the way, Ted?
I'm trying to think
about thanks, Pete, mate. That'll do.
Good luck, eModels. Good luck.
Oh, yeah, good. That's a good one. Yeah. All you need to do is about 15 minutes after we finish, go to the eModels YouTube channel. It will be there, whatever we've titled it tonight. Put a comment on that video and just say, good luck, eModels. I'll type it in the chat. I don't need to, but I will. We're not worried about spelling.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to put that. I've just spelt it wrong for a start, so that's a great start, isn't it? Just put something like, good luck, eModels. And what we'll do is we will actually draw the winner in advance next Monday. So we won't draw it now. There's going to be a whole week for you to go and put your comments. So if you're watching this live, you can do it in about 15 minutes when the stream is archived. If you're watching it Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday or the rest of the week, just put the comment on now. So this is, when we do these big ones, it means that everyone can take part, not just people that are watching the show live. So we will draw it on Monday. What's next Monday, Ted?
I don't know.
Doing maths
next Monday, today plus 7. It's 11 today, so it'll be the 18th.
My calendar's really small. 18th, yes. So we'll do a draw just before we go live. We'll do the draw. We'll draw the name at random, and we'll just pick one comment at random, and that person will win that awesome kit.
Yeah, brilliant kit, fantastic kit.
TK and Ant, no, you can't enter.
No,
especially
Ant can't answer now.
Yeah, Pete and Gav, you can't enter either.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony can't enter.
No, and I can't enter.
No, I can't enter.
I can't. Can you enter? I can't enter.
I can't enter. So, yes. So so just put your comment on the video. I say either in about 15 minutes when we finished, or if you're watching this after it's live, just stick it on that page. Only on that video, though. We won't look anywhere else. Don't put a comment anywhere else.
Yeah, but when you get the kit, terms and conditions, we do like to see a picture of you holding the kit. that you've received it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Playground says, can I enter? Everyone can enter.
Everybody can enter. Yep.
Everyone can enter. My mum could enter if she wanted to, but that's kind of wouldn't really be fair.
Yeah, she'd enter on your behalf.
Yes, that wouldn't really work if you didn't know it was my mum. But I think Pete mate and Gav mate would recognise the address to which they were shipping it.
Yeah, to Fox's mum.
Yes, that would be the giveaway.
Yeah.
So Mama Fox at Playground says, even me. Yep, everyone can enter.
Yep.
So yes, so get your answer. Get what did I say to say? No, I've forgotten already now, and I wrote it.
I can't remember. Yeah.
Good luck eModels.
Good luck eModels.
Good luck eModels. Wish them luck in November.
Yeah, wish them luck for the Digital Entrepreneur Awards.
See, that's going to be great because in November is going to be brilliant because at the start of November I'll get my Xbox One X, and then just after that eModels will win the award, and then you can't get better. And then it's Christmas almost. So
yeah. And do you know what they're missing? Like
fantastic.
If you're watching, Pete, a good idea, a bit of free publicity. When you're at the Entrepreneur Awards, you all want to be wearing eModels badges.
Yes, get your eModels jacket on,
or an eModels dicky bow tie.
Yeah, spins around. Or get some like cool glasses that actually say eModels in the shape of eModels, and then we're fired, aren't we?
Yeah, plug it. Go for some free advertising.
Yeah, just give everybody like a little goodie bag of stuff, but have the eModels logo on the goodie bag.
Yeah.
Like a pencil or something in a bag, and they don't know what it is. It's just a pencil. There you go.
Yeah. Playground says, contest aside, good luck, eModels. Yes, serious.
Yes.
Yeah, good luck to you guys. You've done sterling.
Chris
job.
says, everyone vote for eModels. Nate Bliss says, where's your jacket, Fox?
I got the t-shirt.
Unfortunately,
got to give my mum.
Yeah, Ted is in a shed. Not in a shed. He's in an outdoor building
with the wind blowing across the roof.
And he's in Cumbria, so it's like minus 400 degrees. I'm in suburbia in Manchester in a nice centrally heated house. That's not, the heating's not on, that catches the sun in this room. So this room is invariably very warm. So right now, I couldn't wear the jacket. I'd be wasting away. I wish I could, but it just gets, with all these lights, because I've got like all these lights, there's LED lights and ring lights and everything. It gets too warm in here. Believe me, you're glad it's not smelly vision. Yeah, I always end these streams a little bit more stinky than I started. Yeah, TMI. Yeah, speaking of ending the streams, I think it's about time we did, really. It's about time some of these good people were in bed. Yeah, why are you down for a wee, Ted? Yeah. And you down for the wee or the gin? I'm not sure which. No, I need to get the washing in. And then the gin, and then the wee. And then the gin. The way around. And then the gin. Gin. Right. Right. I think it's about time to wind up. It's been a great night. We've had a great chat. Yep. Yep. Sorry. Thank you to everybody who watched and came in the chat. Again, if you're watching on the eModels website, emodels.co.uk/live, and you didn't catch us at the start, if you watch the next one and you want to join in the chat, the bottom of the viewer, you'll see this little YouTube logo. Click on that. It will take you to the YouTube channel, and there you can join in the chat. So if you missed us saying that at the start, that's how you can join in the chat on the next one. It's a really good time in the chat. Everybody's awesome, and they all look after each other. And it's just kind of slightly, they're all kind of silly. It's and it's, as you saw tonight, it's always worth having the eModels website open, because you never know, there might be a question about it. Yes. And it's always worth staying to the end, because you never know, you might pull some sweet swag out of it. And sometimes we don't know that's coming along. We just get a bing, as you heard before, and it's a giveaway. There's literally been times when Ted's been like, right, we're about to finish now, and oh wait, what's this? And that was when we're giving away like £160 motorbike or whatever. What was that big? What was the big one we did once? I think it was the motorbike, wasn't it? Like 100 odd quid worth of motorbike kit. Was that Chris who hasn't started it yet? Yeah, Chris hasn't started. Hint. Yes. Because that was like £400 worth of motorbike there. He hasn't started yet. Yeah. Right, we're gonna go. We're gonna go because he wants to go for a week. I'm gonna put the washing in and hit the gin. Right. So good night, everybody. Thank you. Good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. And well done to TK. Not TK. TK, we'll get you a mug. And get your mug. Well done to TK for finally getting a mug out of eModels. Yeah. And congratulations. Hopefully we'll see Ant. We might see Ant in the live streams. If not, we'll certainly see him on the eModels videos. Yes. So good night to everybody. Good night all. Good night. Thank you for joining us next week, and see you all again. Hopefully I can find the button, I can press it before my arm falls off. Good